The whispering swings. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the empty playground. It was a place of innocent laughter and carefree joy by day, but by night, it transformed into something altogether more sinister. As I wandered through the deserted park, a chill ran down my spine. The swings creaked softly in the breeze, their chains swaying back and forth as if moved by some unseen hand. But it wasn't just the swings that seemed to come alive at night. The entire park seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, a sense of movement and life that defied explanation. I had heard the stories, of course, the whispers that spoke of a children's cemetery hidden beneath the playground, of restless spirits seeking revenge on those who had disturbed their final resting place. But I had always dismissed them as nothing more than urban legend, the product of overactive imaginations and too much time spent alone in the dark. But as I stood there, surrounded by the eerie silence of the deserted park, I couldn't shake the feeling that there was something more to the stories, something dark and malevolent that lurked just beneath the surface. And then, without warning, the swings began to move, their chains rattling as they swung back and forth with increasing speed. I watched in horror as the empty seats rocked back and forth, as if propelled by some unseen force. With a sense of dread gnawing at my insides, I backed away slowly, my heart pounding in my chest. This was no ordinary playground, this was something far more sinister, something that defied explanation. But even as I turned to leave, a voice echoed through the darkness, a soft, childlike giggle that sent a shiver down my spine. I froze, my blood running cold as I realized that I was not alone. Somewhere in the shadows, something was watching me, something that had no right to exist in this world. And as I stood there, paralyzed with fear, I knew that the true horror of the whispering swings was yet to come. With a sense of urgency, I turned to leave, my heart pounding in my chest. But as I made my way back through the deserted park, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, that something unseen was lurking in the shadows, waiting to claim me as its own. And as I disappeared into the darkness, the sound of children's laughter echoing in my ears, I knew that the true horror of the whispering swings was only just beginning. The moon hung low in the sky as I ventured deeper into the heart of the haunted children's park, my footsteps echoing off the deserted pathways. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and decay, a tangible reminder of the darkness that lurked within. As I wandered through the deserted pathways, I stumbled upon a maze, a labyrinth of twisting corridors and dead ends that seemed to stretch on endlessly into the night. With a sense of fear, I stepped into the maze, the walls closing in around me like the jaws of some unseen predator. The air grew colder, the whispers of the dead echoing through the darkness like a chorus of lost souls. I pressed on, my heart pounding in my chest as I navigated the maze, each turn leading me deeper into the heart of darkness. But no matter which way I turned, I could not escape the feeling that I was being watched, that something unseen was lurking in the shadows. And then, just as I was about to lose hope, I stumbled upon a clearing, a small glade hidden deep within the heart of the maze. In the center of the clearing stood a statue, a grotesque, twisted figure that seemed to pulse with dark energy. As I approached the statue, I felt a sense of dread wash over me, a feeling that I was standing on the threshold of something far more evil than I could ever have imagined. And then, without warning, the statue began to move, its stone limbs creaking and groaning as it came to life before my eyes. With a surge of adrenaline, I turned to flee, but it was too late. The maze had me in its grasp, its walls closing in around me like the jaws of some unseen predator. With a cry of terror, I stumbled backward, my heart pounding in my chest as I realized the true horror of the whispering swings. The park was alive with dark energy, a malevolent force that sought to consume everything in its path. The wind howled through the empty playground as I stumbled out of the maze, my heart racing in my chest. The night was alive with whispers, the echoes of lost souls haunting the deserted pathways. But as I made my way back through the park, a sense of dread settled over me like a shroud. The whispering swings had shown me the true extent of their power, and I knew that I could never escape the darkness that lurked within. With a sinking feeling in my gut, I realized that the park was not just haunted, it was alive with dark energy. And as I disappeared into the darkness, the sound of children's laughter echoing in my ears, I knew that the nightmare was far from over, that the true horror of the whispering swings was only just beginning. Story 2. The Visitor in the Night. I thought it was just a nightmare at first, a trick of my mind playing cruel tricks on me in the dead of night. But as the nights passed and the terror continued, I realized that it was something far more sinister than I could ever have imagined. It started with a feeling of unease, a sense of being watched as I lay in bed, paralyzed by fear. And then, without warning, it appeared, a shadowy figure lurking in the darkness, its eyes burning with malevolent intent. I tried to scream, to call out for help, but no sound escaped my lips. I was trapped, a prisoner in my own body, forced to endure the torment of the creature that haunted my dreams. Night after night, it returned, its presence growing stronger with each passing day. It whispered dark secrets in my ear, twisted images of death and despair. I tried to convince myself that it was just a figment of my imagination, a manifestation of my deepest fears brought to life by the darkness of night. But deep down, I knew that it was something more, a creature of pure evil that sought to claim me as its own. With each passing night, the terror grew worse, until I could no longer bear the thought of closing my eyes, of falling into the darkness where the creature lurked. And then, just when I thought I couldn't take it anymore, something changed. The creature began to speak to me, its voice like a serpent's hiss, whispering dark promises of power and salvation. I tried to resist its siren call, to cling to the last shreds of my sanity, but it was no use. The creature had me in its grasp, twisting my mind until I could no longer tell what was real and what was merely a figment of my imagination. And as I lay there, trapped in the darkness of my own mind, I knew that the true horror was yet to come. The days blurred together as the creature's hold on me tightened, its whispers growing louder with each passing night. I tried to fight back, to cling to the remnants of my sanity, but it was a losing battle, a war waged in the depths of my own mind. I stopped sleeping, afraid of what lurked in the darkness of my dreams. But no matter how hard I tried to stay awake, exhaustion always won out in the end, dragging me into the nightmare world where the creature waited. And then, one night, as I lay in bed, paralyzed by fear, it spoke to me, a voice from beyond the veil of reality, a whisper in the darkness that sent a shiver down my spine. "Do you see me, mortal?" it hissed, its words dripping with malice. "I am the darkness that lurks in your soul, the shadow that haunts your dreams. Embrace me, and together we shall rule over this world and the next." I tried to resist its words, to turn away from the dark, but it was no use. The creature had woven its tendrils deep into my mind, twisting my thoughts until I could no longer tell where reality ended and the nightmare began. And then, just when I thought I couldn't take it anymore, something changed. The world around me began to warp and twist, its familiar contours melting away to reveal a landscape of nightmares and despair. I stumbled through the darkness, my mind reeling with fear and confusion. But no matter which way I turned, I could not escape the creature's hold on me, its whispers echoing in the depths of my mind like a cacophony of screams. With a sinking feeling in my gut, I realized that I was trapped, a prisoner in my own mind, doomed to wander the twisted corridors of my nightmares for all eternity. Days turned into weeks, and still the creature's hold on me grew stronger, its whispers echoing through the corridors of my mind like a relentless drumbeat. I tried to fight back, to cling to the last shreds of my sanity, but it was a futile effort, a battle that I was destined to lose. I stopped eating, stopped sleeping, consumed by the darkness that lurked within me. I wandered through the empty halls of my mind, lost in a haze of fear and confusion, unable to tell where reality ended and the nightmare began. As I'm writing this, my last farewell, I'm not sure if it's real or just a twisted reality the creature has constructed. However, I had to let it all out somewhere. I'm going to try to end it tonight, even if it means I'm no more. Wish me luck. The end. Subscribe for more. Thank you.